Hi guys, so this is a routine that you can do if you've got a bad lower back, if it's inflamed. A belt would be useful for this video and a brick. So we're going to come to start in a child's pose. Send the knees wide, take the big toes together, feel the hips lengthening down towards your heels. Start to get that connection between the breath and your rib cage. So that rib cage wants to start to expand out onto the thighs. Maybe audibly hearing your breath down onto the mat. Lengthen into the sides of the body and into the back of the neck. Come right up onto the fingertips, dome through the palms, lift the head slightly as you walk the hands over to the right hand side, maybe drawing the left palm on top of the right and the gaze coming underneath the right armpit. Keep lengthening that left sit bone down towards the mat, squaring off through the hips. Then coming back to the centre, keep that engagement with the fingertips pressing down as you walk over to the other side. Draw the right palm on top of the left if you did that on the first side, and take the gaze underneath the left armpit. Then walking your hands back to the centre. Lift the gaze, start to roll the hands in, round through the upper back. I'm going to take some cat and cow poses. Inhale to drop the belly, lift the chest, take the gaze up. Exhale, round through the back as you draw the chin towards the chest. Inhale, gaze comes up, lift through the heart space. Exhale, tailbone long as it rolls underneath, draw chin to chest. Inhale, out and up. And exhale, drawing down. Inhale, take the gaze up, and exhale, really expand into the rib cage with the breath. Then come back to your neutral spine, tuck the toes under, send the hips high for downward facing dog. Making any movements that feel nice here, maybe opposite knee to twist through your torso. Start to lengthen out. Feeling into your low back, come right up onto your tiptoes, send the knees down, back into tabletop position, and then come to a seated position, bring the legs forward, make sure there's enough room behind you to come to lie down. Then on the inhale, draw the hands up to the ceiling, lengthen through the spine, lead with your heart space as you come to forward fold. Bend slightly at your knees and then thread the arms underneath the knees, catch hold of opposite elbows. So just softening here into a forward fold. Feel the lower back. Try to lengthen through the tailbone and through the back of your neck. Keep the shoulders rolling down away from the ears. And then coming back up to seated, draw the arms forward and lower down all the way to the mat. Taking your palms down onto the mat, fully flex through your feet. Inhale to lift the right leg up. Exhale, floating it down. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, down. Deep breath in, right leg lifts up. Exhale, inhaling left. And exhaling down. Inhale to lift the right leg. Grab hold of your strap, your belt, anything you're using in placement of the belt, and start to put a little bit of pressure as you take it onto the padded part just underneath the toes. Fully lengthen through the back of the hamstring. Notice how this might be affecting the low back. Keep engaging the left leg down onto the mat. Flexing out through both feet. Then maybe walking the hands a bit further up the strap as you come to lift the forehead up towards the knee. Feel the shoulder blades lift off, and still try to resist creating any tension by lifting the shoulders towards the ears. And slowly lower back down. Take the strap into your right hand. Left hand comes onto the left hip. So lower it down to the right hand side, but notice that the hips are still going to stay square. Whenever that left hip starts to lift up, just rein the leg back in and just hold at that sweet spot. And inhale to lift the leg back up. And then release your strap, slowly lower back down. Then coming to take the strap over the left foot. flex out through the right feet. Inhale to lift the head and neck up towards the knee. A little bit of pressure on that left foot. Fully lengthen and engage through your left leg. Right leg is still working down towards the mat. Fully flex toes and release your head. Take a moment to lengthen through that leg slightly further, just with the head down. Then taking your strap into your left hand, right hand to right hip, start to lower the left leg out to the side. So here as well, you can also see if there's a tightness in the hips that might be affecting your lower back. If your hip is really lifting up as it starts to go over, and you can notice the tightness in your hip flexors. Holding at that sweet spot, keep the breath nice and long. And then come to draw that left leg back up to the center. Release your strap and float the leg down to the mat. So take your palms flat down on the mat, bend your knees, and come to a supine pigeon pose with that right heel on top of the left thigh. Hug that left leg in towards you. Options to straighten the leg and lift the forehead up towards that knee. Nice deep breaths and slowly releasing back down. Release the left foot back to the mat. One last hug in. And then coming to switch sides, that left ankle on top of the right thigh, and hug behind your right thigh with the interlaced fingers. Options to straighten your right leg, lift the forehead up towards the knee. Nice deep breaths, long in the back of the neck. One more inhale and exhale, releasing back down. I'm going to take both legs down for bridge pose, so your block will be handy for this one, just to help to create a bit more room in your low back. Touching in with the backs of the heels, your palms facing directly down onto the mat. Lift up through your hips, press the hips towards the ceiling, rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae, tailbone the last thing to come down. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale, rolling down. Inhale, hips, middle back, upper back, lift up, press into the hands and the feet, exhale down. Keep hugging in your thighs and make sure the feet are flat down onto the mat as you press those hips up to support your low back. Inhale, lifting up. This time grabbing hold of your block if you have one. I would suggest taking it onto the second setting, or maybe the lowest setting if you've never done this before. Take it directly underneath your sacrum, so the two kind of bony parts that connect the pelvis to your low back. Allow the weight to rest down, maybe closing down the eyes or softening your gaze. So it's really good if you can hold here for around a minute and a half, just to allow the fascia tissue to release into the low back. It's going to help to realign your sacroiliac joint and create a lot more space and less tension into the lumbar spine. Keep softening through the belly. Nice long deep breaths. And then when you're ready to come to lift up the hips, remove your block and really slowly lower down, bringing your tailbone down last to the mat. Just allow the spine to come into a neutral position. Then we're going to take the feet about mat width apart and just allow the knees to drop in to the center line. This is a really good, just for a small low back stretch. You can feel the lower back pressing down onto the mat. Create that length. Options to stay here for your final relaxation, and see you in the next video.